Hello everybody, K-Whip here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the return of Felwinter's Lie, and why I believe it was a mistake. I'm going to talk mostly about the gun's appearance in the actual game, instead of the quest itself to get it, because there are some things to talk about with the quests, like there were bugs, there were kind of lack of incentives at the beginning. They made us do activities that were just really not too thrilling and that we'd been grinding for months on end. So the quest overall had a lot of issues and was not implemented properly. But I want to talk about the gun mostly now that it's actually in the game and how that's going to affect the game, which I think is going to be negatively. But before I talk about Felwinter's in Destiny 2, let's take a look back at how it was in Destiny 1. It was the best shotgun in the game of its time, and that was largely due to its perk shot package, which was so strong that Bungie actually ended up removing that perk from the game. And this is something that doesn't really happen in Destiny. They don't typically delete items or perks straight up, but that is what they actually had to do with shot package, and they just straight up replaced it. So that just shows you how big of a problem it really was. So when I heard that they were bringing back this weapon with that perk, and also hearing the other perks that were going to go along with it, I just really could not believe it. I didn't really understand why, because the timing is so strange. It's in a time where shotguns are as dominant as ever. You've got standouts like Mindbender's Ambition, Dustrock Blues, and Astral Horizon that are all dominant in their own right. And shotgun is just really good right now, as it has been for 6 years of the game. And you've got things like Antaeus wards that make shotgunning an absolute breeze, with an extended slide distance as well as a Juggernaut shield that reflects bullets and makes you invincible for half a second. So the introduction of a shotgun that is as powerful or more powerful, which I think it is, than the other best shotguns in the game, is a mistake. And even if it isn't purely the best shotgun in the game, which I personally think it is due to its tightened pellet spread from both full choke and shot package, as well as its incredible perk set. But even if those things don't make it the best shotgun in the game, and there's still better shotguns out there in like a God-rolled Mindbenders or a God-rolled Astral Horizon, most people don't have those. Getting a perfectly rolled Astral Horizon or Mindbender's Ambition is challenging because they're actually located in challenging-ish content. You've got to do trials and a nightfall that only comes around every so often to actually get these guns, and then they have random rolls, so it's not very common to get a god roll. But with Felwinter's Lie, they gave everyone the god roll. First perk, Full Choke, most people say it is either the best or second best perk you can get for that slot. The other one would be Rifled Barrel. Then you have Accurized Rounds, which is probably the best perk you can get there, and increasing range. Then Quick Draw or Slide Shot, probably the two best perks in the game for shotguns, and Quick Draw is what most people would go with here. And a note about Quick Draw, I find this to be one of the most frustrating things to play against when people have shotguns, because it makes the ready speed extremely fast for shotguns, so you can expect a primary gunfight with someone and be in a primary gunfight with someone, and then they can just quickly switch over to a shotgun and finish you off. And that's something that's really annoying to play against when you're someone that's an aggressive player getting up close to people with maybe a primary like a sidearm. And it seems like a fair fight, or that you might even have an advantage if they're using a normal primary and you have a sidearm, but then just about instantly they can have a shotgun out and finish you if you get close. So for that reason, I think everyone having a quick draw shotgun that's really good is going to be a little bit annoying, and make it harder to use close range weapons that are not shotguns. But anyway, let's talk about the last row of perks, which is Vorpal Weapon and Opening Shot. Opening Shot's probably the better option here, and both are pretty top tier perks. So now everyone who has put in a little bit of effort to get shotgun kills anywhere in the system to get Felwinter's Lie has a god roll, and just about all active players will probably do this. So now all of those people will have a god roll of the best frame of shotgun in the game, which basically just made a ton of shotgunners on average better. Because like I said, most people don't have god rolls on these weapons. They're hard to acquire, and even if they did have a god roll, it's hard to argue that it's going to be any better than a Felwinter's Lie. So overall, just shotgunning got better with the introduction of the Felwinter's Lie, which I don't think anyone was calling for. I don't think was justified, and I don't think was the right change for the Crucible. That being said, I will say this: I think that it's okay that shotguns are getting more consistent. I think that having a more uniform pellet spread isn't a bad thing. I think shotguns should be more consistent, but they should actually have drawbacks as well. Because my least favorite thing about using shotguns is their consistency. I feel like a lot of times I should one-shot people when I don't at pretty close range. And I don't like the randomness of the damage that I do. That's the reason why I use slug shotguns a lot, because you know exactly how much damage you're going to do if you're in the appropriate range. So shotguns getting a tighter, more uniform spread I don't think is a bad thing. However, I think that they are too strong at the moment for this to be warranted. And to make up for them becoming stronger and having this capability, they should probably have a rate of fire nerf. I think that's maybe the most important thing, because I think it just makes shotguns way too forgiving when you can just about always get 2 shots off in a gunfight, giving you either 2 chances at a one-shot kill, or just being able to tag them up for like half health each time and be able to take them out from very far away. So personally, I feel like giving maybe all of 1 frame shot package would maybe be a decent idea. I would probably do it with precision frames because that makes a bit more sense, because they are precision frames and having a more precise shotgun would make sense for them. As well as aggressive frame already has the benefit of having an increased rate of fire after picking up a kill, so I don't think that that version of shotgun needed to get an additional buff on top of it, and that type of shotgun already has plenty going for it. And then one last thing that I don't like about the introduction of Felwinter's Lie is that it's going to hurt the variety of the weapons in the game. Because since everyone does have that god roll, it's probably going to be better than most of the shotguns they would have been using otherwise. So it's just going to be Felwinter's over and over again in the Crucible, and there's not going to be much motivation for people to get other shotguns or use other shotguns. And then one thing that really bothers me is that it made like the 7th Seraph CQC really irrelevant, because the best roll that you could get on that was Quick Draw Vorpal Weapon, and that was what was kind of exciting to get on that weapon. And now you just have a Felwinter's Lie, which is better in just about every way, that can get the exact same roll automatically. So that instantly made the 7th Seraph just worthless to me. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the return of Felwinter's Lie. It's kind of a disappointing thing for me. I don't think it was the right move, and is probably going to make a lot of people a little bit frustrated in the future, and maybe even now. And so if I was going to make this into a baseball reference, I would say it was a swing and a miss by Bungie, with the bat flying out of their hands and hitting a couple teammates in the dugout. Honestly, maybe a harsh assessment, but I just don't think it was a good decision. And one that came with poor timing, and if a shotgun nerf or a Felwinter's Lie nerf doesn't come a little bit later after with the introduction of the new season, I'm guessing that Felwinter's Lie is just going to get extremely tiresome for players. And yeah, that's my thoughts. Thank you for watching the video, and see you later. What? 23-1. Damn it.